So last year in Network Field Day, we introduced our vision for NSX, which was the virtual cloud network. Our vision is basically to be able to connect and protect any workload irrespective of where it is running. So that was our vision. Very simple. The workload could be on-prem, in a private data center. The workload could be running in the native public cloud. The workload could be a VM, a container, a bare metal server. We want to be able to connect and protect all of this. This was the vision last year. I'm very happy to report today that NSX-T has realized this vision. Today, with the currently shipping release, NSX-T can provide consistent networking and security across heterogeneous workloads. You can have an ESX hypervisor, which is managed by vCenter. You could have a KVM hypervisor orchestrated by OpenStack. You could have a mix of hypervisors. NSX can connect all of these into a seamless networking and security fabric. Your workload endpoint could be a VM, could be a container orchestrated by Red Hat OpenShift or Pivotal Container Service or upstream Kubernetes, or it could be a vanilla bare metal server. And your workload could be running anywhere. Your workload could be running on your on-premise data center. Your workload could be running in one of the VMware cloud destinations or one of our 30,000 VCP partners. Or your workload could be running in native Amazon EC2 or running in native Azure. We are able to provide consistent networking and security across all this heterogeneity today in software. So what are the services we support on the platform today? We support a variety of services on the NSX-T platform. The first service is switching. We support both VLAN and overlay-backed switching. For routing, we support distributed routing, and we support north-south routing as well. Load balancing is supported. Dimitri will give you a nice demo of load balancing in action. For VPN, we support L2 VPN as a native service. We also support IPsec VPN as a native service. For firewalling, of course, we support microsegmentation for our east-west workloads. The microsegmentation works seamlessly for the workload. The workload could be, again, a VM, a container, an EC2 instance, or an Azure VM. The same policy could apply across all these workloads. We also have a perimeter firewall for zoning if you like to use it. So that's available as well. For connectivity to physical, we have our edges, which can go and talk to the physical world. We also support layer 2 bridging if you need L2 connectivity. On the NAT side of the house, we have source NAT, destination NAT. We also do reflexive ACLs if you need them. DHCP side of the house, we have DHCP relay and DHCP server functionality. And for OpenStack customers, we also provide metadata proxy. We've had 6+ releases of NSX-T ship already. And today, we are about to launch our biggest release yet, which is NSX-T 2.4. This release has a variety of features across all these different areas. There are enhancements on all these different areas, plus there are major platform enhancements. So some of the notables are on the routing side of the house. We are introducing IPv6. So we are going to be able to do layer 2, layer 3, multi-protocol BGP with IPv6, as well as IPv6 firewalling. So the platform is going to be a truly dual-stack platform from NSX-T 2.4. On the firewall side of the house, we are building a lot of security features. Ganapati is going to provide you a whole overview on the intrinsic security features which we are adding. Some of the notables are identity and context-based firewalling, URL whitelisting, service insertion framework to onboard our partners, etc. You'll get a 30-minute demo on all of those features.
On the IPv6 thing, is that both underlay and overlay?
Overlay networking only.
Overlay networking
yeah,
only.
The
so
underlay
is still IPv4.
The TEPs are still going to be IPv4.
Okay.
I'll take what I can get, man.
So,
no complaints. No complaints.
Tom Gillis talked about simplicity and delivering an AWS-like experience. So one of our major themes for this release is simplicity. And we want to make the platform easy to use than it has ever been for everyone, irrespective of the user's skill set. The user could be a network architect, could be a security admin, could be a firewall admin, a load balancer admin, a routing guru. We want to make the platform easy to use for all these different personas. And we want to improve the experience over the board. We don't want to just address day 0 problems. We want to go day 0, day 1, day 30, day 180, and beyond. So what we've done to achieve these goals is we've completely revamped the UI to improve the install, configure, run, audit, optimize, as well as update experience across all these different heterogeneous workloads. So the first thing we did is we made intuitive workflow-based wizards in the UI. So when a user logs in for the first time, the UI is actually going to prompt you and tell you what to do. There are wizards, and Dimitri will walk you through those wizards, which you could use to configure your entire networking topology. They're really slick and very sophisticated. For users who need the nerd knobs are still there. We have not removed them from the UI, so you can still use the nerd knobs. So that's part of the day 0 install experience and the configure experience. The other interesting thing we've done is we've completely revamped our search experience. Let's say operators come into a system and they need to find a particular VM. What do you do there? So we've made a global Google-like search bar on the top of the UI, where you could basically type in anything. It's a context-based search using a domain-specific language, where you can, let's say, type VM name. And it will basically show you in the UI wherever that VM name is mentioned. You could do fancy regular expressions, or you could write a query, and it will auto-fill. Just like on Google, you type 3 alphabets, and basically Google prompts you to fill in your search. You're going to get that similar experience. So it's going to be really amazing for the operators to find objects while troubleshooting. The other interesting thing we've done is we've completely revamped our dashboards and offered very rich visualization and context. So let's say you go to a network topology. All the information is going to be visually available so that you can pinpoint what is happening in the system. On the update side, we have our update tools on NSX-T were really good. We had the upgrade coordinator. So we've gone and enhanced it. We've added validation checks. So now we do a pre-upgrade check, a post-update check. You can make your own upgrade plan. And the most important thing, we have rebootless upgrades now. So you don't have to reboot the hypervisor when you update. So these are the various things we've done under the simplicity umbrella on the platform. And Dimitri and Ganapati will walk you through live demos in all these areas.
And is the upgrade still reverse from NSX-V? Because my understanding is T, you start at the hypervisor, and then the last thing you do is the...
That is correct.
Okay.
The upgrade sequence is reversed from NSX-V. And the reason is basically we want to reduce the amount of outage you see. So that was about the UI and making the UI experience more seamless and easy. What about the API? So a quick quiz question. How many different ways can a user consume NSX-T today? Any takers? OK, let me simplify the question. Let's forget the UI. How many different ways using code can a user consume NSX-T today? 9+ ways. We have integrations with Kubernetes, upstream Kubernetes, OpenShift, Pivotal Application Service, Pivotal Container Service. These are our CAS-PAS integrations. If you like CI/CD pipelines to bring up your network fabric, you can use Concourse pipeline. We have an NSX-T Concourse pipeline to do your installs. If you're a fan of vRealize automation or vCloud Director, you can use those too. They have integration with NSX-T. OpenStack, we support upstream OpenStack. We support Red Hat OpenStack, and we support our own OpenStack, VMware integrated OpenStack. If you like SDKs, We have Python SDKs, Java SDKs, Terraform plugins, Ansible plugins. For you, the vanilla REST API is written very well. That's there for you as well. And if you want to use any other custom tool, you can make your own tool as well. So we have 9+ ways to consume NSX-T, like network infrastructure as code, right? And we've been doing this for a few years. So you're fairly familiar with what we do. We do this is an example of our REST API. And then the plugins call the REST API. However, the reality is to consume REST APIs or to consume plugins, you need to know some amount of coding, right? So if you want to push your network topology in a YAML manifest and in a declarative fashion, we want to make life easy for the customers who want to do that. So we have taken our API to a new level. We've introduced a declarative API model for easy consumption, where your entire network topology can be in a single manifest file. Again, Dimi will demo this. Again, the nerd knobs and the second way is still available, but we have a third way, which is more outcome-driven, human-readable JSON. So it's easy to code.
Are there any limitations on your API, or can it do everything that you could do either through the GUI or otherwise?
Are you talking about the API is always written first, and we build the UI on top of it. So the API is generally more richer than the UI. For the JSON manifest file, we are not doing install operations using the JSON manifest. It's mainly for network topologies today.
Perfect. Thank you.
I think I'm running out of time, but I wanted to make one more nuance on the architecture side. We've done a ton of enhancements on the architecture side, but one major one is we have combined the management plane and the control plane into a single unified appliance, starting from NSX-T 2.4. What this means is when you are installing NSX, all you do is install a single OVA file, which is your NSX Manager appliance. If you want clustering and HA, you can deploy the manager as a 3-node cluster, and the manager and the controller functionality will be within the appliance. This will make installs, upgrades easier, right? So we've collapsed the management plane and the control plane in these appliances. It's demo time now. This is a slide just to give you an overview of our network field day journey. When you came here in 2018, we showed you a very fancy plane spotter demo with containers running under different container orchestration systems and VMs. So we're not going to talk about containers today. Today we are going to focus on 3 themes, which are our major themes for the release: simple and consistent ops, network infrastructure as code, and intrinsic security.